I want to confirm that the national officials have taken a decision which I fully accept as a disciplined member of Umkhonto Wesizwe. We've been redeployed to the National Assembly and will continue to play the role of advancing the agenda and program of Umkhonto Wesizwe. It has been an invaluable roles that we have played and a humbling experience that we have been assigned by the President. I want to thank him for leading the program of unification of all the progressive forces in South Africa.
Now, what you're seeing there is a dejected, deflated, defeated Floyd Shivambu, even humiliated Floyd Shivambu, as he's just been duly removed as a Secretary General of Umkhonto Wesizwe Party. Now, think about the reasons that were given as to why he was removed. That in his own personal capacity, he went to visit Prophet Bushiri out in Malawi. And because of that, this warranted punishment enough for him to be removed in his position, in his leadership position that he was appointed in. Remember, he was not elected. Remember, Umkhonto Wesizwe doesn't have electoral, they don't have conferences to elect their leadership. So Jacob Zuma gets to appoint who gets to be in what positions and all those things. If you're in his good books in that moment, you get to occupy a certain position. If you followed with him somehow, you get to be removed and all that. And Floyd Shivambu is collateral damage of that, you know. But I think we have to be honest, in all honesty, that I think this was inevitable. That Floyd Shivambu, one way or the other, he was going to be removed as a leader in the MKP party. First and foremost, one of the most important reasons is that Floyd Shivambu was not there from the word go when the people who were there who were building the MKP party. He was in the EFF. After the EFF lost some of their electoral votes, Floyd Shivambu jumped ship. You know, whether he was recruited or whether he was planning to go there or whatever. And that was so grievous to so many people in the MKP party, that here's a person who's been brought in to be parachuted and is being given such influential and senior positions. And I think a lot of people in the MKP party, they were in Zuma's ear telling him like, hey, you're making a mistake here. There are a lot of people, especially those who were working the ground prior to the elections, and for some reason they were overlooked in terms of positions. And people can pretend that the people, they don't get into politics for positions, power, influence and all that. We know that the people, they get into politics, they want power, they want influence, you know, they want positions, as it were. So the other reason I believe is that if you look at Umkhonto Wesizwe, much like the IFP, this is a tribal party. Meaning the majority of the people who vote for the MKP are always going to be Zulu-speaking people, particularly from KZN. And you can see even in the electoral results that most of the votes that they got were from KZN, you know, and they moved from basically ANC, IFP, and they went to the MKP party. So Floyd is an outsider. He's not from KZN. He's not respected and all these things. And he just comes in and he assumes it's such a senior and influential position and all that. I don't think that was always going to work out, considering how tribalistic the MKP is, as it were, you know. The other reason is that he was not even respected. Think about how Duduzile Zuma spoke about Floyd Shivambu. I mean, he saw at him, F you Floyd, F you this, you know, and you just emafigizolo, meaning he just arrived yesterday, you know what I mean? So he was not fully respected and all that. Even though Duduzile Zuma later, she was sanctioned in that she was, what happened? He had to write an apology and all of that and apologize to Floyd Shivambu and all that. Okay, you and I know that that apology was hollow. This person didn't respect Floyd Shivambu and all of that. You listen to what the former youth league leader of Umkhonto Wesizwe said, Bonginkosi Khanyile. He didn't respect Floyd Shivambu, Secretary General, you know, how he spoke about him in the media, you know, and nothing happened to him because he's close to Jacob Zuma, much like what Duduzile said, and she had to give that shallow apology. The other one I can think of, Phadi, the leader of the Umkhonto Wesizwe out in Mpumalanga, how he said Floyd must go, Floyd must go. I think about 2 weeks or so ago. And it has come to pass. Floyd is gone. In fact, if I was to put my money on it, I think she knew that it was only a matter of time Floyd was going to go and all of that. So they were just looking for a specific reason that they could use to get rid of Floyd Shivambu. So Floyd Shivambu came into a clique that was already tight, and he was an outsider. And as many people were complaining within the MKP that he's trying to bring the EFF tendencies within the Bonginkosi party. So no surprises there. The last thing I want to mention about Floyd with regard to this situation is that if you look at Floyd's political career, the highest heights that he has reached in his political career, it was when he was the deputy president of the Economic Freedom Fighters. If you think about him in the ANC Youth League, I think he was a spokesperson, and that was his forte. I think Floyd is more of a bureaucrat. He's not a crowd puller. He's not an influential speaker. He's not that articulate in that he would not be able to raise the room or pull the crowd like Julius Malema. I think the gravitas that Julius had, somehow he just took Floyd to be his deputy when they started the EFF, because they started the EFF together, and he just had to assume the position of deputy president. I think there was a time when Dalimpofu wanted to contest him for that, and Julius didn't like that, But I think Floyd doesn't have that thing. Even as Secretary General, when you see Floyd addressing even the media, Floyd doesn't give you something to think about, doesn't draw you in, you know what I mean? And yeah, I don't think he's got that thing. He's brilliant at writing documents. He's an intellectual. He's the guy that you put somewhere in the back office and he churns out these documents and policies and things like that. So I think that's where his strength is. So they're going to bury him in parliament. And make no mistake, you and I will not be surprised when you see one day Floyd says, no, I'm getting out of politics. I'm going to go into academia or business or something like that. I think that's inevitable that he's going to get out of Bonginkosi party. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Let me know what you think about this. Let's check out some of these clips where some people were talking about Floyd Shivambu.
Put it very clear that Floyd must go. We don't care where he's going to, whether he's going back to the EFF, whether he's going home. It's none of our business. So we are just saying the Floyd must go. I don't know how they've tricked me into that information or test him that they are doing with the VNs to think that if they are campaigning using my name, they will get it right. They are not going to get it right. Mpumalanga City, Floyd, 95% of members of Bonginkosi is on the ground. But Floyd must go. And Floyd must go because he has created this whole chaos that we are in now. To the extent that he's the person that has been having benefits of talking about Mary Phadi dead, Mary Phadi dead, Mary Phadi dead, Mary Phadi dead. And I'm talking about him namhlanje with Baba siyabonga hamba uyala uyakhona.
A lot of comrades within the MK are rejecting the SG Shivambu, Mr. Floyd Shivambu. Apart from just the social media back and forth, not even back and forth, because I haven't seen him responding to Sis Duduzile Zuma.
Let me for in protection of the party, ne? And in protection of the organization itself, let me not answer this question directly. I will come here for a special edition very soon. Then we'll speak about that as a topic. We'll allocate 40 minutes.
However, not specifically directed to Shivambu, as directed by her father. Shivambu was the central subject in her tweets containing offensive language. Zuma Sambudla, however, says she holds strong and personal views, including serious concerns about internal party matters. She further says she holds perceptions of how certain issues may be handled within the organization, especially by the Secretary General of the party. Shivambu is yet to comment on this matter.